This disease takes all kinds of people, from all different communities, age groups. I'm Nathan Koranda. I'm a paramedic. I've been a paramedic for the last 4 years here in Minnesota. I used to be very adamant about saying that it would be sort of disingenuous for me to say that because, Chris, my brother, passed away, that was the main reason why I became a paramedic. And it wasn't such a, A plus B equals C type of a situation where I ran to the nearest firehouse and became a paramedic the next day. But when I think back to that moment has shaped how I behave as a paramedic on a regular basis. What this job means to me really comes back to what happened during that day. And that's, I'm trying to keep families whole and prevent the sort of same pain and tragedy that we had to endure back when Chris lost his life. I know what the stakes are when I go on an emergency, And the things that have stuck with me are not the things that I assumed would have stuck with me. Chris was my brother, and he died at 21 years old from a heroin overdose. To the best of our knowledge, Chris, that was the first time he had used heroin. And people question that whenever I say, well, maybe you didn't know. And, maybe I didn't. But I feel like at this particular point, having known as many addicts as I have, having seen an active addiction process, that was not apparent in Chris prior to him losing his life. I do believe that this probably was one of the first times, if not the first time, that he had ever tried heroin. Heroin as we know it, or knew it, no longer exists. The molecular composition of what's being used today is so much more potent than what we were dealing with before in the past. And I woke up in the morning at 19 years old to the sound of screaming. We found him in the basement of cardiac arrest. We did everything that we could in order to try to save his life. And ultimately as a family, we weren't able to save him. And that's something that sticks with every single one of us, has impacted every single one of us in a different way. And when Chris died, there were dozens of people that were impacted by that, who then in turn impacted even more people. I'm Nathan Koranda, and this is about all of us.